Hello guys, we are back and we're going to be talking about the Dru Brown extension, better late than never, right? So before we start talking about that, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or the CFL. That being said, let's get on into it. And Brown obviously gets traded, meant to do a video, did not like the way that it came out at all. So I ended up not doing it, was going to do it today, but now we signed the extension. We're going to quickly recap the Brown trade. Basically Winnipeg, knowing that Dru Brown was a free agent, that they would probably not be able to sign an extension with, ended up trading him to Ottawa for a 5th round pick. It was a little bit frustrating, I think, for Winnipeg fans, where they see the value that Brown could have and say just a 5th round pick. That doesn't seem like a lot. However, at the same time too, when he's going to be a free agent in the middle of February, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. So to be able to get anything back in return, I don't think was a big deal. As for Ottawa, when they made this trade, they were really looking at this and saying, we have Jeremiah Masoli, but he's old and he's been dealing with injuries. We all know this. And with Brown, he was more of the coveted free agent quarterback that was going to be coming up in this free agency period. And so with Ottawa doing that, it was kind of rumored right at the end of the season, even really before the season ended, that Ottawa would be interested in him. Now by trading and getting him, they have more time to sign him an extension, which they just did today, a 2-year deal. This is big for a variety of reasons, mainly more so for Ottawa. The door is probably going to be shut for Winnipeg till the end of this video, but for Ottawa, you get a guy in Dru Brown that is not 30. He is 27 years old, I think it says on the CFL player profile, and is a player that had a very good year last year, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, had 2 games in pretty convincing fashion where he looked really good. The Edmonton game against the Elks where he threw for over 300 yards, looked good there. And then he played Calgary towards the end of the year. Wasn't as prolific, I think, but at the same time, too, finishes the year with 0 interceptions, and we get to see a little bit more time out of him and more reps compared to 2022. I don't know what we're getting out of Brown necessarily at the moment because we haven't got to see a whole lot with him. However, at the same time, too, from what we've seen, things have been good, granted that being on a good Winnipeg team. Now, with this, Brown wanted to be a starter, have a chance to be a starter in Winnipeg. That wasn't really going to be the case with Carlaros and the fact that they are Grey Cup contenders / favorites every year. Here with Masoli, you're probably seeing him compete for the starting role, if not probably being just above Masoli. Looks like right now the Redblacks will be kind of having it be a little bit of a battle. However, at the same time, too, don't think that Brown's just going to be handed the keys to the offense and saying, here you go. Masoli, if he's able to be healthy, we know he can be a starting quarterback in the CFL. Problem is, it's been 2 years, and he has been battling with that health. So I do think you're in a spot where Ottawa has quarterback depth, which is a good thing, and as long as things stay healthy in terms of competition, you're also looking at this being a good thing, and I don't imagine there being a bunch of like bad blood between him and Masoli, so that's good. So Ottawa gets possibly their quarterback of the future. They have good quarterback depth, and they have an opportunity to maybe make the playoffs for the first time since 2018. All good things, but things look even better for them here as they could possibly snag Dalton Schoen. So I guess Brown and Schoen are just best buds, and there's a lot of rumors being made that Dalton Schoen could be interested in going to Ottawa. This is a big deal here too because Schoen is one of those big names in free agency. Kind of seems like a lot of those big names in free agency are coming out of Winnipeg, and if you're able to get a guy like him, you really feel very optimistic about what the season could bring. Ottawa's had success in bringing in names in free agency, but to bring in a guy like Schoen could possibly bring this offense to a whole other level. And if you have his connection with Dru Brown and things work out well there, you have some other names too on that side of the ball for the receivers especially, where you feel very, very optimistic. And I think for Ottawa fans, they should be excited about the possibility of 2024 being a much better year than from what we've seen in recent seasons. However, on the flip side, we are circling back to Winnipeg. This also looks like they will be getting Chris Streveler back from what we've heard. Seems like the former Grey Cup champion is interested in coming back and being the backup. He previously spent time in the NFL. Maybe he asked for less because he made a decent amount in the NFL. I'm not really sure what his career earnings were in the NFL. But either way, you're probably looking at him being the backup, a guy that can run the ball, certainly a guy that will throw the ball if he has to, and a fan favorite. So just kind of wrapping this up into a neat little ball. At the end of the day, Winnipeg, realizing that Brown was going to be a free agent that they weren't probably going to be able to keep because of money, and so they trade him to Ottawa, looking to be able to get something in return. Ottawa looking to get a quarterback for the future, sign him to a 2-year extension. The first year, I think he can make about $340,000. They have him compete with Mazzoli. Mazzoli and him have good quarterback depth, and they allow this team to possibly be even better. Sean possibly going over to Ottawa to make this team better as well, and Streveler heading back to Winnipeg. All just kind of some things that are crazy going on, but it's fun, and this is why we love the CFL. So anyway, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think Brown will be a CFL starting quarterback for the foreseeable future? Do you think that Ottawa will still have to continue to look for a quarterback after Brown's 2-year stint is done? Is Dalton Schoen heading over to Ottawa? And will we see Streveler back in Winnipeg? Let me know all those thoughts down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe and have a great night.